Hey guys, this is Sean from the Pompey Games Room, and today I thought we could take a look at one of my all-time favourite games for the N64, GoldenEye. Now this game was an exclusive to the N64 and came out everywhere on the 25th of August 1997. It would go on to be the best-selling non-Mario game on the N64, selling just over 8 million copies worldwide, which put it ahead of Zelda, which sold 7.6 million. Chances are that if you're a Nintendo 64 fan, or just own the console, that GoldenEye was a massive reason behind the reason for you having the console in the first place, due to it being one of the most playable and must-have games in the late 90s. This game was a massive project, taking 2.5 years to complete, and originally being designed for the Super Nintendo. It was developed by a British video game development company called Rareware, now known as Rare, which had previously seen success on the Nintendo systems after the success of the Donkey Kong Country series of games. They would also go on to have further success in later release titles such as Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64 and Perfect Dark. In my view, I think it was great that British companies such as Rare was given the task to develop a game for a British icon such as James Bond. It's also worth noting that Rare would go on to win many awards for this game, such as Best UK Developer, Best Action Game of the Year, Interactive Title of the Year, and Outstanding Achievement in Software Engineering in 1998. They would also win a BAFTA Interactive Entertainment Award for this game. Okay, well let's start this game up then, and one of the first things you're going to notice is the screen that you would see in the cinema, the certification screen. After this we're going to get the Nintendo logo, and then the intro scene will play, and I'll let you guys take in the intro scene. This is pretty good. So whilst the game quickly goes into a demo mode here, I thought we could just talk a little about the intro, which really showed off what the game was capable of back in the day, and also gave you close-up of the characters in this game, who all had face scans from the film. This was pretty cool, as it definitely added to the game, along with the near-identical level designs to the film. In fact, level designs were based on blueprints, diagrams and photographs obtained by the development team during the making of this game. So now we can actually start to play this game, and you'll see straight away that it had a very unique lookout in regards to the setting up of this game. The menu system is in the style of MI6 dossiers and documentation, with 4 game save slots built into the game. This was quite handy, as if you had friends and family members that played this game at the same time that you were playing it, you could each have a designated file to save your save game, which meant any progress you made wouldn't be lost when somebody started a new game. When you selected a file for your save game, a screen would come up showing you the levels that you had unlocked. Once you had selected a level to play, you had 3 different difficulty settings to choose from, in Agent, Secret Agent and 00 Agent. Each of these settings would make gameplay slightly more difficult, with more objectives to complete throughout the level. Once you had completed each of these difficulty settings, you would unlock an additional setting called 007. This is a setting that allowed you to access a screen called Special Options, where you could basically upgrade the difficulty of any mission. Features in this option file consisted of enemy health, damage, accuracy, reaction and speed, which could all be adjusted between 0 to 1000 using the adjustable horizontal bars. Now before we really go into the gameplay of this game, I just wanted to make a comment about the amazing N64 controller. As in many of the N64 titles, the analog stick would give you the ability to do many things movement wise, such as creeping and sprinting. Also you could turn around 360 degrees at ease, and with the Z button as your trigger, it led to extremely comfortable gameplay. In fact, I don't think that I can remember ever hearing a bad review about these controllers, as they were very comfortable throughout gameplay, and I've used this controller through hundreds of N64 titles in my lifetime and never had a problem. So as for weapons on this level, as with many of the levels on this game, you will start off with a Wolf of PPK, which 007 used throughout most of his films. In certain levels, as well as the Wolf of PPK, you would start off with rocket launchers, sniper rifles, mines and grenades depending on which level you had selected to play and the objectives that you needed to achieve. All of these weapons vary in characteristics, such as rate of fire, type of ammunition used, and inflict different levels of damage depending on which body part they hit. Some weapons on this game are also powerful enough to shoot through doors. Sniper rifles can also zoom in with the use of a telescopic sight, which allows you to zoom in on enemies and clear a path in front of you. Oh, and of course, not forgetting the best thing on this game, that there's also an Austin Powers style judo chop. Another cool thing incorporated into GoldenEye was one of James Bond's most known gadgets. This would of course be his watch. This acts as a pause feature during the game, where you could also check out level information and objectives. This also acts as a detonator for any mines that you plant throughout the game on certain levels, and can also be used as a laser to shoot enemies. Also, in later levels on this game, it's used to escape from the situations you find yourself in, such as through the floor on the train level. On here you can also find information about the controls for the game, and any other information you may wish to find out, such as weaponry and armour. This game is huge, as you have 18 levels to start out with a further 2 that can be unlocked in the Aztec complex and the Egyptian temple, which can be unlocked once you've completed all the original 18 levels in secret agent mode. These levels are in no way connected to the GoldenEye film, and were extra stages that were loosely based on previous films. The Aztec complex took inspiration from the Moonraker film in 1979, with the Egyptian temple being based loosely on the Live and Let Die film in 1973, The Man with the Golden Gun in 1974, and The Spy Who Loved Me in 1977. Now, one thing that appealed to me about this game when I first got it is that you didn't have to complete all the levels in one go. Like I was saying earlier, there are 3 different difficulty settings, and you could always redo a level that you would last finished again on another setting, meaning you could get through the game with ticking off all the missions in one go. I have to admit that I usually found this the best thing to do, as some levels you would get stuck in areas so often that coming back to them again months or a few weeks time, you would have forgotten how you'd done it previously, so I would usually do all 3 tabs in one go. But saying this, you could also just continue on the path of the game and finish each setting one by one. So I think it's now time to take a look at this game's most impressive and popular mode. This of course would be the multiplayer mode. With modes such as Man with the Golden Gun, where one shot with a golden gun would kill, or License to Kill, where any weapon, or judo chop more importantly, would kill an opponent. This would be the first game that you reached for if you had a group of mates over and fancied a shoot 'em up game, or just played with your family. This mode features all the characters in the game, including enemies and civilians. There are a total of 33 characters to choose from, with only 8 being available at first. The additional 25 characters are all unlocked as you progress through the game. You can fully customise gameplay, selecting the weapons that are used, and even handicap better players on this game, modifying things such as smaller amounts of health, which meant that everyone could be on an even playing field. Certain levels in multiplayer mode have restrictions added to the size of the levels. This would mean that there was more fighting, as you wouldn't need to transfer around the massive levels in this game to find your opponents. These levels were Facility, Bunker, Archives, Caverns, and the Egyptian Temple. So let's just quickly touch on the multiplayer modes that are available on this game. There was Normal, which was a basic free-for-all and the ability to team up on anyone. You Only Live Twice, similar to normal mode, except players only have 2 lives before being eliminated from the game. The Living Daylights. Object being to grab a flag, which is located somewhere in the level, and keep possession of it for the greatest amount of time. When someone has the flag, they are unable to use any weapons to protect themselves. All they can do is run. Anyway guys, I'll speak more in part 2.